What is up, everybody? This is my Loki Season 1, Episode 4, the Nexus event review. And, just off the bat, before we start the video, if any of the stuff interests you that you see on the channel, or even this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe, because we are on the road to 200 subscribers. But, we've been doing this for about 6 months, so, yeah. Anyway, I thought this episode was really great. Not to compare it to anything, but I'm glad that this isn't going the WandaVision route and answering all our questions in the finale. It's actually answering the questions as we go. But anyway, my more in-depth thoughts will be later, but let's just roll that intro. We start off our episode or our adventure on Asgard, where we have a young Sylvie playing with some toys, which from what it looks like is like a wolf, a Valkyrie, a giant dragon, all calling back to stuff we saw in Ragnarok. And the Minutemen come in and place a time bomb or a reset charge. That's what they're called. But I think that photo is supposed to go a little, like, 20 seconds after it, but whatever. Yeah, the Minutemen come in and we see I can't say younger, but maybe a younger, because she doesn't age, she doesn't appear to age, but let's just say, a younger version of Ravonna Renslayer from when she was still a Minuteman. And Ravonna Renslayer takes, young Sylvie through the process that Loki went through in, Episode 1, and she has to, like, we don't hear any, like, voice or these people talk, but we just get a montage. It's like signed to make sure this is everything you've ever said, or the temporal impora stuff, and there are still scratch marks showing that robots have passed through and died before. And eventually, when Sylvie gets to her trial, she takes out or hurts Ravonna and takes her, time twister, I think it's called, that they use to pop through portals and everything. She gets through the portal and escapes, and Ravonna didn't struggle to go after her or anything. It just, yeah, but now we have Ravonna in present day going down the gold elevator, which is what C20 said the timekeepers were, and I was so surprised when this happened. Just straight away in the episode we saw the silhouettes of the timekeepers, and we later see and get a conversation with what would we think were the timekeepers. But by the end of the episode, we know the timekeepers are not real, and it's just someone pulling the strings. But whatever, Ravonna gets back up and she's like, Morbius, it's not good, they blame me, we gotta get this all figured out. And Morbius wants to know about, am I saying Morbius? Mobius wants to know more about what happened to C20, and Ravonna says C20 is dead, and she doesn't want Mobius asking any more questions. Sorry, I cannot speak today, it looks like. Yeah, but back on Lamentus, we pick up where that city was being destroyed. We can see the destroyed version of the Ark, and yeah, we have that trailer shot, but it's a little edited, and you can see like 2 light poles showing why it's so well lit when a literal moon is crashing into, I think it's a moon or planet. I don't remember what they said Lamentus 1 was, but yeah, Loki comes up to talk to them, and Loki and Sylvie talk, and I don't know, they've gone through so much within the past, who can say, within the past 2 episodes, they've bonded so much that, I'd say they're friends. Later in the episode, Mobius calls Sylvie Loki's girlfriend, but I took this love more as a brother-sister love, or a friendship. But, yeah, we see that the time stream is completely normal, so they must have acted fast. Like, they have so many agents. This B-15 and Mobius talk real quick, and like we have C20, B15. I wonder if it just goes from B1 to B99, or it resets. I don't know. Is there like a Z75 out there, and that's how they got those so fast? I don't know. But yeah, I bet if we looked at every single TVA agent's armor, we could find out their number and answer that question, but I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, we have this scene where Loki holds Sylvie's hand, and I don't think Michael Waldron said it's not like a relationship love, so I'm thinking it's more like a brother-sister love. Yeah, and Mobius and B15 watch as a Nexus branch grows super fast and goes almost to the red line, breaking the sacred timeline or whatever. And we've never seen someone go that fast, so showing that Loki did something that he was not supposed to. So him and Sylvie are gone now and are ready to face their demise as a big explosion happens, and they are about to die. But before the explosion can wipe them out, or the thing that crashed into the planet, the TVA agents go and get them. So now they're all walk through and back where the TVA, back in TVA, right where they started their adventure. And yeah, that's how they got off the Mantis Ramp 1. We all thought that, but it was just simpler. But yeah, Loki and Mobius talk throughout this adventure, or with the walking, and eventually Loki tells Mobius that he is a variant, and he laughs it off, and Loki's completely serious, and he's like, dude, why aren't you believing me? And Loki gets thrown in this red time portal that they use to travel, and it goes to Asgard, which at first he's like, oh, thank you. And eventually he sees that it is a memory that he has got trapped in, where Lady Sif comes to him and tells him all the stuff about how he is awful and annoying, and he will always be alone, and Lady Sif hurts his family jewels, and yeah, it's just it's nice seeing Lady Sif back. We haven't seen her since the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which probably not canon, and no matter how much they tried to be by the end of the show, I didn't even watch past like season 3. I'm sorry, I just gave up, or I didn't even I stopped watching. I don't know why, honestly. But never mind, this isn't about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Last time we saw Sif was in Thor Dark World, canonically, but she is going to be in Thor 4. I think that was confirmed, or it's just like a rumor, but whatever. We have, sorry, freaking, they're like 40 seconds later, we have Ravonna and Mobius talking. Ravonna is very against Mobius going to talk to Sylvie, and it's because Mobius has worked with all these Lokis before, and I took this as like maybe he's the one agent who always goes for Loki, or the clone thing where Mobius has many clones in the comics. Maybe all his clones have previously taken different Lokis, and Ravonna just doesn't know which one this is, which is kind of screwed up or whatever. But C20 and Mobius talk, and Mobius is like, hey, why is it the 2 Asgardian orphans that are our biggest trouble? We've brought in Kree Titans, which he couldn't have even brought in Thanos. I want to see Thanos go through that whole this is every word you've said. I think that would be hilarious. Or Annie drops vampires, which could be set up for Blade, but yeah, I don't think, well, vampires now exist in the MCU, so yeah, it's basically set up for Blade. But yeah, B20 asked Mobius what he saw, what Loki told him. Mobius is like, hey, Loki told me that we are all variants. that I'm a variant. The TVA is lying to me. No, Loki told Mobius that the TVA is lying to him. And eventually we have, this scene with, Sif and Loki, where Loki has had enough of it, and he's just like, Sif, I know I'm a whole person, and I'll be alone. I thought it was funny to cut off your hair, but it wasn't funny, and it was just a cruel joke. I am actually sorry, and I hope you can forgive me. And after that comes in, Mobius comes in and takes him out of his time loop prison, I guess you would call it, and, Mobius just takes Loki up to ask him questions, and Mobius is like, oh, are you guys partners, teamworks? And Loki is like, she's aggravating, but she tries to hit me all the time, but yeah, I still like her, or whatever he says, and he lies to Mobius and is like, yeah, Sylvie came to Asgard a long time ago, and we hatched this whole plan to destroy the TVA, but, Mobius is like, oh, is that right? Well, you gotta thank, B-15, because she erased her from existence, and you can tell that Loki, just one tear in his eye, which Tom Hiddleston is doing a great job in the series, by the way, great job, but, yeah, this was obviously a lie, but then, B-15 goes into, where they're holding, Sylvie, and she basically frees Sylvie, and, they go somewhere, which is, the city, and I think it was Alabama in 2050 that was having the apocalypse, but back in, the TVA, Mobius put Loki back in that prison, and he went to, talk to Renslayer, and, he's getting, before he'd put Loki in the prison, Loki told him that he was a variant, so he's still struggling with this as he talks to Ravonna, I think I'm saying that right, and, he tells Ravonna, where are you gonna put, Sylvie's sword in like, your thing, so, as she puts it in her trophy case or whatever, he grabs her, time thing. I knew I had the actual name right, earlier, I just can't remember, but, with Sylvie and B-15, they talk outside during, the apocalypse in 2050, Alabama, I think it is, or Florida, I don't remember. It's some town by sea, and, Sylvie, that's the word I was looking for, gives, B-15 some happy memories, but in the library, Mobius, messes with Ravonna's thing and goes to, C20's file and watches this video of C20 before her death, and it confirms that she is deceased, but C20 spitting some stuff, like, saying that we are all variants, confirming what Loki said, but it gets more confirmed when Mobius sees Ravonna's face in the video, and, realizes that, it was right, and Ravonna has been lying to him this whole time, which is a big shock, because Ravonna, just before they were talking, and Ravonna said a friendship like this doesn't come easily, which, it hurts, man, but Mobius talks to Loki in the prison and is like, hey, are you actually lying to me? Because I believe you, and Loki's like, hey, I'm not coming to you as a cockroach or whatever, I'm coming to you as a friend. And, earlier in the episode, Mobius called Loki an asshole or a really bad friend. So, when they get out, there is Ravonna and a bunch of timekeepers, and we have this awesome speech because Mobius basically knows what's gonna happen, and Mobius is like, hey, we call it back to, the question that Ravonna asked him in her office, saying, the question was, if you could go anywhere in space and time, where would it be? And Mobius basically goes, hey, I would go wherever I was before you plucked me from the time stream, because we're all variants, right? Somewhere I have a jet ski, maybe I sell jet skis, maybe I died on a jet ski ride, which is probably what happened. Mobius died on, a jet ski ride in the main timeline, probably survived it, and that's why he's a variant. But yeah, if this series doesn't And if Mobius doesn't get a jet ski by the end of the season or the series, because we know there's season 2, we're gonna have to make changes and hashtag this crap. But anyway, Mobius gets erased from existence after Ravonna says so, because he's been compromised or some crap like that. So he gets erased from existence, and you can honestly see how painful this is to Loki, even though they have barely known each other. This has been, what, like a couple days to a week of knowing each other? And you can see it is equally also painful for Ravonna, but she just doesn't want to realize it. And Ravonna, I wonder why she's so loyal, and what horrible thing she's done for TVA, because she took in a little girl in the beginning of the episode for just existing. That just shows how awful TVA is. But Ravonna goes to check and on Sylvie, and she sees that B-15 just took Sylvie out, and B-15 got released. So the TVA agents take Sylvie and Loki to wherever the golden elevator is, where they go to see timekeepers. And Sylvie asks Loki if he's okay, and Loki just doesn't respond, showing that no, Loki is not okay. He just saw a friend get murdered by Ravonna Renslayer, who, by the end of this episode, I hated Ravonna, I'm gonna be honest. But then we have Sylvie asking Ravonna why she blocked her from a time stream. What was the thing she did? And Ravonna says, I don't remember, but she smirks, saying, so she probably remembers. But, yeah. Ravonna takes Mobius, not Mobius, R.I.P. man. Loki, Mobius isn't dead, we know that. It's Owen Wilson, wow, or whatever. She takes, I'm so sorry. She takes, Loki and Sylvie to the timekeepers, where they stand in front of the timekeepers, and we get a great look at them. And here's where a theory, I probably heard it from Heavy Spoilers or 3C Films, and it was honestly a really great one, where that head one looks, I think it was Heavy Spoilers, looks like Jonathan Majors, and he, obviously these are revealed to be robots later, but and I'm sorry, subtitles gain, here we are, because you could actually understand what they were saying. But that head one, the main one, is above all the other ones, showing that Kane still could be behind all this, and he could be ruling all this. But I don't want Kane to be like another Mephisto thing, because then all of us will be made fun of even more. But the Palace-like guards, which are honestly kind of like the red guards that guard Palpatine in the Return of the Jedi. That's what I thought of them when they're fighting. And Sylvie fights, and Sylvie gives Loki her sword eventually. And yeah, Loki's having a hard time taking these guys down, while Sylvie easily does it. And eventually, Sylvie takes on Ravonna, and it's Sylvie versus Ravonna, and Ravana, I don't know, I think it's Ravonna, not like Nirvana, like Nirvana, yeah, the word, not the band, but, well, I guess, but whatever. Sylvie eventually, gets her knife back and throws, her sword at the timekeepers, dismembering one of, the main heads, and you can see sparks, and this is where I knew all of it was a lie. And we know in the beginning of the episode, in episode 1, when we saw the Miss Minute's explanation, we saw at the beginning it was the Timekeepers, I think, promotional group, or the TVA promotional group, which showed that it could be fake. But yeah, it just really creeped me out seeing that head, and it's really like the Wizard of Oz here. There's a man behind the curtain, we don't know who that is. It could be He Who Remains, or Kane the Conqueror, which I think both of them are really likely options. If it's He Who Remains, they can introduce how in the Marvel Universe, how it reboots, and how the Infinity Stones are remnants of a previous universe. But, yeah, and if they introduce that concept, they can introduce Galactus and how he was a remnant of the past universe in the comics. But anyways, Loki has to tell Sylvie something, but he can't. And he's gonna tell him that he loves her or whatever, but it's I don't think that's what he was gonna say, but he can't say it because one, it was just hard for him to say it, and I'm stalling for time. You can see, event Ravonna Renslayer kills Loki Laufeyson and erases him from the timeline. This was honestly like a what the hell, or like a WTF moment, man. It was just so unexpected. I know Tom Hiddleston, everybody teased that this would be a big episode, like the last three are like bang, bang, bang. But I didn't expect like this to happen already. I love how this show isn't really like WandaVision, where they do everything in the finale, or Falcon the Winter Soldier, where we have all these big theories, but they didn't really pay off that well. I love Falcon the Winter Soldier, but it's just anyway. To stop rambling, we have Sylvie and at Ravonna, and Ravonna's like, do it, and Sylvie's like, actually no, tell me everything you know about everything you know. And then we have the credits and a post-credit scene when Loki Laufeyson wakes up, and we hear this voice, which immediately I knew it was Richard E. Grant, and I knew it was going to happen. And we have all these Lokis in a destroyed version of New York, presumably from an apocalypse, which they didn't, the Minutemen didn't reset the timeline or whatever, or this is just where they send the Lokis, and we have Kid Loki, Alligator Loki, which, if you don't know, I hate alligators. This is not Thor, it is a worthy Loki, I don't remember the name, and then a old Loki played by Richard E. Grant, which could mainly be a villain, because in Loki, Agent of Asgard, old Loki was a villain. But anyway, yeah, that was my review for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I enjoyed making this review because it was really easy. Yeah, please give the video a like if you haven't subscribed. We're on the road to 10 subscribers, and if you would be so willing, go down in the description and follow all our socials. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. So goodbye, stay safe, and goodbye.